Well, it's been a while since I've done anything, so figured I'd do a short little video here. Found a nice, beautiful blue. See if I can get that in the sunlight better. Beautiful, beautiful blue. And along with that, got this little guy here. And then, along with those, found this thing. See the something there, but here's a piece of crystal. You can tell it's crystal because of the hexagonal shape there, and it's definitely been weathered and tumbled in this creek for damn sure. So, question is, where can I find more of them? On the hunt, and for anything else that looks appetizing, as rocks go. Alright, so like I said, it's been a while. I figured I'd do something a little different today. Maybe walk a little trail. Check out some sights. Here again at one of my favorite parks, Steele Creek Park. And this is a section I've never been to. See some turtles here on the log, basking in the sun. So over here is the Nature Center. I'll probably have to do another video about that another day. But for now, just want to walk the trail. It's a beautiful day today. The end of February, and it feels like the middle of April. So this trail here, if I'm looking at this correctly, I think this leads up to the mountain here. We're going to find out. I believe it does. So, as you can see, I did find a few rocks, a few interesting ones for sure. But I just wanted to take a little brisk walk today, and I figured I would bring you all with me. And we can hear the lovely sounds of those damn Canadians in the background there. So, it is a beautiful day though. Spring is springing early, I believe. And I personally think spring is happening sooner each year. My humble opinion is that I think the seasons, I don't think it's climate change. I mean, climate's going to change because seasons change, because seasons shift, because of the precession of the equinoxes. So I think that's what's happening. As we enter the age of Aquarius from Pisces, as astrologers say, as it is happening astronomically speaking as well. I think that's one of the reasons we're seeing these shifts in weather. And over the last several years, I've noticed, it seems anyway, that spring starts earlier and earlier. I think this is also part of the park, I think. Could be wrong. It could also be country club golf course, because I think this is a golf course here. But beautiful area, beautiful, beautiful. Here's this part of the lake here. The main gravel pathway goes around there, that way to the waterfall, and there's trails up and around that mountain. There's trails up here, and they all kind of connect. So yeah, this is a very nice little park. It's very quaint, and like I said, it's probably one of my favorite places to go, bar none. All right, this is Slagle Hollow Knob, registered state natural area, Bristol, Tennessee, Department of Management, Parks, something or another. Hemlock Hollow Trail. All right, so here's a map. Maps are always fun. Okay, so we are here, and we are going to go, so we came across here like this. Looks like this goes up. Well, good question actually. It splits off to a trail here that leads this way. So this is what I thought was the golf course, but it's not. It's part of the park. I think over here, this way, is where the golf area is at. But it's still part of the park. I think the park has a golf course on it. That's what it is. All right, so normally I would take this gravel trail around here, go this way, hit the waterfall, and usually come back. This dumps at another park called Rooster Front Park. And of course that trail just continues on around here, this orange trail, blah, 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 blah. Basically what we're on right now. And that's quite a hike, actually. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but we're gonna hike a little bit, see if we see any sights, maybe find some rocks, we'll see. Been a while since I've been on a pretty good hike, so this will test my endurance. Beautiful, beautiful landscape. Love how the trees just tower along this trail. Pretty awesome. I have not hiked these trails over here before. I've hiked others, but not this side. So this is new to me. And some of these trails can get challenging. They are not they're not flat. Of course, you're going up a mountain, so there's that to account for. But if you do come here and you intend on doing a hike, like with any hike, I recommend bring a backpack, bring some water, bring some food. All right, so if I go off to the right, it goes, okay, so here we go. The arrows tell me. So this is the trail that we started on, but this is the trail that goes along the ridge up above the lake on that side of the mountain. That'll lead all the way to Rooster Front Park and then circles back to over there. I'm gonna go that way because I'm lazy. And I didn't dedicate a whole day to hike. So, I mean, like I said, if you're gonna come here and visit and you plan to hike some of these trails, make it an all-day thing. Find a beautiful day where it's not too hot, not too cold, like in the spring and early fall, and make it an all-day thing. Oh, just make it an all-day thing at the park. Grab you some sandwiches, have a nice picnic by the lake, do a little fishing. You can keep the fish. You're allowed to keep the fish. So you can fish, you can kayak in the lake, you just can't swim in it. It's the only downer. Ooh, there's a creaky poo next to the golfy coursey poo. I might have to saunter down that way on my way back and hit this bridge area to check out this creaky poo next to these golfers. But for now, we'll go this way. Beautiful little creek too. We also got a lot of rain recently. All right. So here's the creek. I came off that trail. And there's the little golf course there. I'm not seeing anything of interest, so I'm just going to keep pressing on the trail here. There is another park that I'm going to check out at another date, which has a kick-ass trail. And when I say kick-ass, I mean it'll kick your ass. And it's at Buffalo Mountain State Park in Johnson City. On my lunch breaks, if time permits, because I have some leisure with my work. I like to do these things. I like to try to check out trails and little nature centers and parks. And one time I was in Johnson City working on some client sites. I was pretty much done for the day. So I stopped at Buffalo Mountain State Park, and you drive up this mountain, and there's a trailhead, and you continue up that trailhead up the mountain, and it is a pain in the butt. It is rough. Beautiful trail. But where this is nice and smooth and easy and not very hilly yet, Buffalo Mountain is up, 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 up. So at a later date, I will try that. Like I said, we've had some rain recently, so these creeks are really flowing. I dare say that normally this creek isn't really that big a deal, but where we've had rain the past couple days, it's really picked up the water level. I know a few years back, I was not on this mountain, but the next mountain over at this park, and we had recently had a lot of rain this one year, and the trail at the top of the mountain was damn near flooded at the top of the mountain, because there's like a spring that feeds from there, I think, and that spring overflowed and it flooded the trail at the top of the mountain. So you're getting water spilling down the mountain into the creeks and eventually into the lake there. It was a sight to see. Something to behold. So this looks like it's going to take us into this little gully here, into this hollow, down here in the holler. We'll see where it goes. So this trail brings us to a little bridge on a switchback. Give you guys a nice shot here of the landscape. And continue on. Yeah, it's one thing I noticed in the last few years, especially when COVID happened, whatever the hell that was. I will not get into it here. But I noticed that there were a lot of people who were outside more. And that's what I don't get. A lot of people talked about, oh, the lockdowns. I did not experience any such thing. There were businesses and restaurants and stores and things like that that were closed, sure. But I left my house. I traveled. Hell, I went on vacation down in Florida in the middle of the whole damn thing. Back in 2020. So, I don't know what people are talking about when they say lockdowns. I mean, did you guys really take that shit seriously? I sure as hell didn't. And I don't think a lot of people down this area did either. It gave more people ample opportunity to get outside, exercise, hike, bike ride, kayak. I remember I went to Academy Sports to go buy a bike, and for my wife and son, and the whole bike rack section, all the mountain bikes were sold. So were kayaks. So that was the upside to that whole pandemic that I think led to a positive thing. It got people outside, out of their houses, despite it being a lockdown, and people enjoyed being outside more. They rode their bikes, they hiked, went camping, kayaking, canoeing, fishing, etc. They picked up new hobbies. So it's a good thing. A good thing. You always have to look for the silver lining in things. Too many people are into the doom and gloom, and I was a part of that for a very long time. So it's not worth it. It really is not worth it. Now this, going uphill, is like what I was talking about with Buffalo Mountain, but imagine more rockier. So up the mountain we go, which I was not really intending on hiking upward, but what the hell, we're doing it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Oh look, we've been provided with steps. The mountain has graced us with steps. Thank you, mountain. All right, I'm at another little bridge, which I will consider to be a rest area. Well, that was a workout. Not as bad as Buffalo Mountain, but still a workout, you know, when you haven't done it in a while and you don't do it every day. So I'm going to make my way back down because I do have to do a few things today and head home. So unfortunately, I cannot be out all day. I wish I could. This is a superb day. I think it should be a mandatory law that when you have beautiful days like this, you should be allowed to take the day off freely with pay. At the very least, you should be allowed to take most of the day off, maybe work a couple hours, but, you know, or on a beautiful day like this, you should be able to not work during the day and maybe commit a few hours to office work if your company permits in the evening. That's probably what I'll do. I'll get home, do some office work, and, you know, put it to my time today. So I know a lot of people don't have that luxury, and I understand that. You know, I've worked in factories for years and years and years, so I know all too well about punching in that time clock, and, you know, you don't have the flexibility of somebody who, let's say, works from home or, you know, works out in the field, who can pretty much set their own hours, set their own pace. That's what I'm able to do, thankfully. So I've had to bust my butt to get where I'm at. I know a lot of people have. But if you're stuck working at a factory, or hell, even at like a fast food restaurant, you know, just do your best to put yourself in a position where you can, you know, better your quality of life, as it were. And even if you can't, even if that's what you're destined to do, that's understandable. No one should ever fault you for that. No one should ever ridicule you for that, because, you know, we need factory workers, right? You need people to work the restaurants. You need the line cooks. You need the people to work the cash registers. So, and I don't have like a corporate job or nothing. I'm a field tech, but that allows me to kind of be a lot more flexible than if I was working at a factory or fast food restaurant or somewhere else, or hell, even an office job. I could not work an office job. I can't stay stuck in front of a computer all day, even if I was doing it from home. Even when I'm home, I can sit in front of the computer for maybe an hour max before I've got to twiddle my thumbs, get up, walk around, you know, occupy my mind elsewhere. And also, when you work from home and you're doing office work on the computer, if you're like me, you get distracted and you get a case of the fuckets, and you get a case of, oh, let me watch a bunch of cat videos on YouTube. So, you know, keeping yourself focused can be challenging. But if you do have the flexibility of working from home, or if you're working at a factory or fast food, and you're able to take a lunch break, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what your work is like. Try to find the opportunity to go outside, and not just go outside to smoke a cigarette or check your phone or whatever. Take a walk. Find a trail if you have the time. If not, do it when you get off work. And it's hard to do in the winter months, because if you work during the day, you go in during the day, you work all day inside wherever you're working, and by the time you get out of work, sun's going down, you can't really enjoy the day. As the days get longer, you're afforded a better opportunity to enjoy the day once you get off work. So use that opportunity. Don't just go right home and sit on the couch or watch TV or get on your computer or video game. Take the time, even if it's for 30 minutes, find a trail, find a park, and just enjoy being with nature. And if that just means walking a trail to collect your thoughts, to decompress you from all the stress of the workday, then do it. If that means sitting in a field and quietly meditating or just reading a book, then do it. Take at least 30 minutes to an hour a day and try to get fresh air. Try to be out in nature, not just the city park. If you live in the city and all you have is a city park, that's fine. If you are able to commute to a more remote park where you can be in the forest, that's even better. Try to find surroundings where you can find solitude, quiet, and stability. Because even though our home is our castle, and you would think, well, that's where we find it at, you're still confined to four walls. You're confined to RF. You're confined to electronics. And nowadays with the smart homes, you're confined to smart electricity and all that stuff. So this is a way to get you away from a lot of that. Of course, I'm out here, I've got my phone, so there's that, but there's nothing else around me. There's no other electronic devices, there's no wires, there's no tower, there's no cell phone towers nearby, not in the immediate vicinity. So find an area that you can escape from all this, at least for a little bit. And like I said, decompress. You've had a stressful day. Maybe you've had a good day at work, but it's stress. You're dealing with customer issues. You're dealing with what your boss needs. You're dealing with this. You're dealing with that. Even if it wasn't a bad day, it's still stressful. There's stress. Again, stress doesn't have to be negativity necessarily. Technically walking up and down a trail is a form of stress, right? But when you're mentally stressed, right? When you have to think about things, when you have to do calculations, or you have to solve problems, or you have to do reports, it takes a mental toll. So find ways to decompress. Now, for me, this is the ultimate gym. This is the ultimate decompression, is being out in the woods. Oh, look at this. Cute little mushroom there. Cute little fungi. So anyway, this is the ultimate gym. I can get a good cardio workout here. If I wanted to do like strength training, you can do a lot with trees when it comes to strength training. Of course, lifting logs. If you got a good, strong, sturdy branch, you can use that to do pull-ups, chin-ups. So you don't need to even go to a fancy gym. There's your balance beam right there. So this is free, and it has so many benefits. If you're like me and you like nature and you want to learn about nature, this is a good way to learn about nature. Of course, most of us have our phones with us at all times. Look up an app, look up some resources, and if you see a plant, what is that plant? Take a picture of it, learn about it. This is like the ultimate school when you really get down to it. The world is not our buildings. It is not the homes that we have. It is not the offices that we work in. Those are just facades. This is the world. This is the world. You know, this is what you need to be. This is where it matters. I actually envy the people that are playing golf, and I hate golf. To me, it's just an elitist, boring sport. Not even a sport. It's just an activity that's boring. But I envy them because these types of people can take the time out of their day without recourse, without a care in the world, and play 18 holes on a beautiful green next to a beautiful park on a beautiful day. Now, yes, people can say they're envious of me because I can take time out of my day when I technically should be doing something, and I can take a hike. Now, if I wanted to, I could just take the day off. I could put in for PTO, take the day off, get paid still, because that's what my company allows. But I don't want to burn my PTO, and right now I'm the only one on call in my area, so I don't want to take the chance of taking a PTO and then taking a call. I don't know. I might do that. I always have that opportunity. There are other ways I can allocate my time, but this I am grateful for. I'm grateful that I can do this, that I can just take a lunch break or finish my day early, come to a park, take a little hike for about an hour or so, head home or head to another client site depending on how my day's going, and just enjoy life. And that's what it's all about. You know, whatever you're doing, find a way to enjoy life. Too many people, like I said earlier, are into the doom and gloom. You know, you look at all the problems in the world, whatever the media is trying to pull at you, whether it be the mainstream or the alternative. And, you know, people just, they go by that. They eat it up. They gobble it up. They consume it. They lap it up like puppy dogs licking out of a bowl. And they wonder why their lives are miserable. They wonder why they're so stressed all the time. They wonder why they worry. Because you're feeding into the fear. You're feeding into the propaganda. You're feeding into all the nonsense. Go outside. Take a deep breath. Look around your immediate surroundings, especially if you live in an area like this, and realize the reality is life isn't that bad. It's actually rather good. Now, if the circumstances that you find yourself in are not optimal, you need to find out why. And you need to do the right thing to change that. If you live in an area that is not making you happy, whether it be a home, a neighborhood, a town, a city, or an entire state, you need to find a way to relocate if you have the means. You have the choice. No one's putting a gun to your head. You have the freedom to do whatever you please. Nothing to it but to do it. Hope you all enjoyed this little video. I will do more. I've just been busy. Look for more of them. I enjoy doing the shorts. I'll put more of those out. Peace out.